Alright, we're on to lesson 1.2 in Algebra 1. Today you're going to look at some expressions and you'll be able to simplify them using the order of operations. And again, for most of you this will be review, so I will be moving kind of quickly, assuming that this is review for you. Alright, the order of operations is just the order that you simplify expressions in math. And you always follow the same order. And most of you have remembered it as PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, and those letters stand for parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. That just means whenever you're attacking a problem, you always start with the work in the parentheses, then you do the exponents, then you multiply, divide, add, subtract. And actually, this should really be written like this, because multiplication and division you would do at the same level, and addition and subtraction you would do at the same level, and you'd follow the left to right rule, which means always work from the left to the right doing the multiplication and division, then work from left to right doing the addition and subtraction. So we're going to look at a couple examples. I'm going to do one, and then you're going to do one, and that's going to be it for this lesson. So, notice the directions that say to simplify, not solve. You're going to simplify the expression 6 minus 2 raised to the third power divided by 2. So when you simplify an expression, you follow the order of operations, and you start with parentheses. There are parentheses in this problem, and inside the parentheses there's work to be done. 6 minus 2 is 4. We've done the parentheses, then we're going to look for exponents. If you can find exponents, do them. If you can't, you move on to the next. There is an exponential number, 4 raised to the third power. And you remember from the first lesson that means 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. We've done the exponents. Now we're going to look for multiplication or division. And there is division in this problem, but not multiplication. 64 divided by 2 is 32. And we've taken this expression and we've made it as simple as possible. We've simplified it to make it 32. Let's look at the next one. Now the next one's kind of a weird problem because it's not really written this way, but whenever you have an expression that has a big division bar like this, it really makes more sense to put parentheses around the top and parentheses around the bottom and treat them as two separate problems that you simplify and then divide as the last step. So we're going to do everything on the top inside the parentheses, 2 to the fourth minus 1. Not really any parentheses to do any work. There is an exponent, so 2 to the fourth power, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So that's 16 minus 1. On the bottom, there's a 5. Now we're going to keep doing all the work on the top and all the work on the bottom separately till all the top is simplified and all the bottom is simplified. So on the top, 16 minus 1 is 15. Nothing on the bottom to do, that's 5. Looking for multiplication and division. There is division. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And that's our answer. So these are just a couple of expressions that require you to use the order of operations. What you can do now is try the next two all by yourself. Now I would suggest that you take a piece of paper and you work the problems out like I have up here and get an answer and then enter your answers when you're done. Now, you should have already entered an answer, and you probably already know whether you've gotten them right or wrong, but just to make sure we're all on the same page, I want to show you how to get the answers to these problems. So the first expression, 5 times 7 minus 4 to the second power divided by 2. I'm looking for any parentheses. I don't see any, so I'm going to move on to exponents. There is an exponential number, that's 4 to the second power, so this is 4 squared is 16. And then I'm going to write out everything else so I don't miss anything. Okay, no more exponents, so I'm looking for multiplication and division. Now, I don't do multiplication first and then division. I work from left to right, doing the multiplication and the division. So 5 times 7, that's multiplication. I'm going to do that. Minus 16 divided by 2 is 8. Notice I didn't do 35 minus 16 and then divided by 2. I'm going to do all of multiplication and division first. Now I'm going to finish with any addition or subtraction. 35 minus 8 is 27. And that's that one. The second expression, again, we look at the top and the bottom and we treat it kind of like their own little problem. So on the top, I'm going to do parentheses, no parentheses, exponents, 3 to the 4th power, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So 3 to the 4th power is 81 on the top. Then I do the bottom. There's no parentheses, there's no exponents, there's no multiplication, division. I'm just going to go straight for the subtraction. 7 minus 2 is 5. Then I keep working. 4 plus 81 is 85. Over 5. 85 divided by 5 is 17. And that's how that answer came about. And that's it. So that's a quick lesson on order of operations. You can move on to the assignment that's attached to this video.